We've got ignition. 2, 1. We've got R.I.P. Takeoff out there. R.I.P. Takeoff. Rest up, my brother. Yes, special Father's Day edition. Welcome to Mouthpiece included, where we talk all politics all day. That's a fusion of sports and politics out there. Today we're going to be unpacking, and I was going in last week about this guy. I don't think the co-host was this as flabbergasted as I was about this pink SOB. Conor McThugger. Is he a danger to society? We also give our takes on some weekly hot sports topics, including today we're going to present, this is a tough list, our top 7 Chicago area high school sports legends of all time. Top 7. And we have picked a major booger of the week for you. So stand by, stand down, or pull up. But if you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Links pinned in the chat. You can also call in 424-900-6945. Smash that like button. Please stand by as we pay some quick bills out there and take this 1 minute to please, if you can find it in your heart on this Father's Day, share the link. Big ups to all the fathers out there not getting enough credit.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance
fair
in
use
favor
out,
of
yeah.
fair use.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Okay, I'm in my local Ralph's, and this happened.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can
Man, why do they keep the honey around here?
God is a fan of the
Excuse me, you know where the honey is?
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like
Oh,
a gaggle of
jeez,
girls?
Al.
The Bears.
Who wants cheese head?
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Bears.
The Bears.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a...
Well, guys, let's go to the swimming pool. Let's go take a shower. Let's go water skiing.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
There he is.
Be sure to bring a towel so you don't get all wet.
That's right. Sure to bring your mouthpiece so you don't get all wet. Now, let's go ahead and get the resident co-host, Jackie Robinson's finest, up in this joint. Big Ace.
Oh yeah, what it is. What's going on?
Shot town, bear down, what down.
Bear down. Happy Sunday. Like, share, subscribe. Good to see you all. Happy Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth. What else can we fit in?
Juneteenth.
Happy everything.
You forgot about Pride Month. How you gonna leave that out for all the misgenders and stuff?
Yeah. I missed that. Yeah.
What's been going on, fella?
Everything good, man. Just back from I guess we talked about that. Coming back from Mexico. It was hot than a mother sucker down there, man.
No
leave there, it's 100.
no cinquentra?
Oh my God. It was 100 degrees there. I get back to Chicago, it's 50. So my body's going through a thing right now. Got a slight summer something from the plane or work or something. But my God, when you leave someplace that's 100+ degrees and you get back home and it's 50 and it's the same season, my goodness. But we all good. Just trying to load up on the vitamins and sea moss and all that good stuff we need to stay healthy and strong and make things happen here in the good city of Chi-Town. Yes, sir. Hyde Park Brew Fest is going on. I think I'm gonna miss that, but maybe I'll slide past there sometime today. There's a lot of stuff going on in Chi. Everybody's scared of the violence, but it's Chicago. Just stay where you're supposed to stay, do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be fine. But everything's good, man. I can't complain. Hey, like, share, and subscribe. Mouthpiece included. Pull up. Everybody talks during the week about this, that, and this, and this, that, and the other. Pull up and bring your mouthpiece. Let's make it happen today. We got a heck of a topic in your buddy who went rampant, I guess, in Miami for one damn game.
I was going in on him, man. I'm like, nobody's seeing this. It was what I postulated last week. If he was some sort of colored, if he had melanin, this would be all in the news cycle.
Right.
They'd be talking about his family, his parents, and he's got to be held accountable.
They just escorted this son of a bitch to a limo and I guess and put him on a private jet and sent him wherever the hell he was going. Or he probably went out and partied that night at the
Oh, you mean they gave him the Bin Laden treatment after 9/11? And we're not saying it was a false flag, but we're not.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. They had to do something. First, he knocks out the mascot.
Save it. We're gonna save it. That's what we're gonna unpack. Right. We're unpacking UFC fighter Conor McThugger. That's what we're doing today. Plus hot weekly political topics. Pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. You can call or text 424-900-6945. Where's Black Internet? Again, if it was, I'll save it. If he was Black, it'd be all over the Black Internet, and every clout chaser in America would be talking about it. But I guess you can't get no views talking about the pink man.
Yeah, imagine John Morant over there in Ireland grabbing on some pink women and knocking out the leprechaun and see how quick he would have got back to the United States, following the incident.
They'd have been talking about his parents. But all right, baseball. The Sox are 31-41, and the Cubs are 33-37. Look at my Cubs catching a little fire out there.
Yeah. Playoffs? Are they both going to the playoffs? Well, it's enough to get some butts in the seats. I think that's all they can really be concerned about.
500 ball, 40. You play 45% ball in Wrigley, and you'd have a full house.
Yeah, they're gonna drink. They're gonna drink, and the weather's gonna heat up this week. We're going into the 80s and 90s, so they can come out there and drink all day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Take the shirts off.
Yeah. I'm a Cubs fan and I'm a Bud man. Aren't you the CEO of the company? Damn it.
Hey, but in the pregame meeting, we was talking about Shanti or whatever his name is. Yeah, man, that guy's beasting out.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the Cubs will put a package together. They can give me a call. I'll put a package together and get them out of wherever the hell he's playing at.
Is he willing to dye his hair blonde and wear some blue contact lenses?
No, he's not gonna do that. But there, he's got he'd have a great following here in Chicago. What is he, Japanese or Chinese?
Yeah,
either one.
He's Japanese out there.
Yeah, he's Chinese. Yeah, we got a great Chinese contingent here that would love Shanti to come to Chicago and pitch and hit and pay him $400 million.
He's Japanese. He's not Chinese out there.
Okay, well, whatever. We got it all here, Chicago. Japanese, Chinese, Korean. We got we got a different melting pot here to help him come to Chicago and not make it to the playoffs on the north side of Chicago.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's push on, bro. Because nobody cares about baseball.
That's not true. I mean, we care about it, with the little guys, and once we get to the playoffs for the big guys and watch them start cheating. But yeah.
You get some more flashy melanated players and let them flip their bats and do everything we do in Little League Baseball. Let them start clapping it up, and you know what I mean?
No interest.
Yeah. No.
I got a coach here that's trying to revitalize the Negro Leagues, as said before, Mouthpiece included.
Yeah, we said it.
I don't know where the money's got to come from, but how hard is it? The ballparks are here.
Where'd the money come from to house the immigrants coming in from?
It came right out the budget. We had a $51 million surplus from some damn where, and then they raised my property taxes the next damn week. The schools. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's money somewhere. We can start the Negro Leagues back up and raise some teams. Either it's in the South or you have some northern teams and make it happen. You can
build those stadiums in the absolute worst parts of these cities. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Get the land cheap, give people something to do, get maybe the Fruit of Islam to be the security. People tend to respect them. They don't want to come up missing.
Come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't drink it and smoke it. They might drink it, but they'll show some respect.
They're gonna show some respect, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
That's one thing Pookie hasn't, messed with. But big ups to that for a while. Yeah. But that we did talk about that, and we got to dig more into that at some point. But today's hottest topic is UFC fighter Conor McThugger. Plus we have other weekly political topics we're breaking down, as you guys can hear. Pull up if you got the cojones, you still got them. The link's pinned in the chat, and the phone number is 424-900-6945. All right, let's talk NBA beat / the Bulls. Pookie Morant, NBA dumb boy, as Kwame calls him. Pookie Morant, 25 games. I think that's isn't that about what we said?
Yeah, I mean, everybody was talking, half a season and blah, blah, blah. And, but, 25 is cool. It'll probably get reduced again once they go, if he tries to fight it or send it. I mean, he's got to appeal it for just because of the Players Association.
He's critty dancing, but the Players Association doesn't like it.
They don't like it. They don't like the critty.
They don't like the 25 game suspension. There's really no precedent. He didn't go in the stands and pistol whip somebody.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incident that happened on his own time with I would assume was a legal weapon, and it just happened to be on Instagram. So to come out with a 25 game, even the 8-game suspension last year that he had, or however long it was, I think it was too long. But we don't know what they talked about during his ability to come back last year. But
you know what I do, Ace? Just thought about it.
Yeah.
I remember, let's say, for instance, you had a student in high school and they was just critty dancing and selling poison to the other kids and
Yeah.
gang banging,
Yeah.
and not at all trying to study. Right. So you had alternative schools. And the reason they developed the alternative schools is one, for pre-prison, but we're not talking pre-prison here. But for two, idle mind is a devil's workshop. I mean, so if you throw these kids out of school, then they just get out there, they got all day to jump in and out of people's cars, etc. So I say that to say maybe the NBA can take a look at using the D League, D for dumb, right?
All right.
The D League as some sort of alternative league for NBA players who don't like the shine and the glitz. In other words, we're not going to cost you money, but what we are going to do is you're going to play 25 games in the dumb league. You know, now people, fans go see, you can critty dance and do all you want.
Yeah.
I say that, Ace, and then I'll throw it to you because I don't know what he's going to be doing for those 25 games he's off it. What's going to keep him off IG?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'll be in somebody's dance club or entertainment club after a couple of those games where he's banned from the league. And you know, you're right. You know, what is there to keep him from going crazy during those 25 games? Put him in the D League. Get them the notoriety that you want them to have. Have them do the critty dance at halftime during a couple of those WNBA games.
Maybe even during some of the Memphis games. You're going to show them critty dance at halftime, give our fans something.
Yeah, since you keep doing this dumb shit and don't want to play, we gotta wait for you to support the NBA and do something for the kids. So put them out there with a couple of kids.
Something constructive. But to your point, I mean 25 games. I think you said it because I was thinking it'd be more like 40, but I'm not that I wanted it to be 40, but looking at it all, they gave him 8 the first game. I guess that's fair. I probably would have, again, I probably would have gave him like 16 games.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at it being a quarter of the season, which is pretty much what they did. It's going to cost them some money. Probably not endorsements. Nike's still rocking with him, and
Nike's still rocking with him.
Yeah, Nike's still rocking with him.
No wonder Silver went away from. So wait a minute. Nike doesn't care about their image, and the NBA cares about it. What's going on here? Is this just a nickel slick hustle to not pay these young melanated players?
Yeah, it might be, or the fact that he didn't shoot anybody. He was just brandishing his legal firearm, which is part of his rights as a American here in the United States of America. So they said, well, we'll let the NBA hand down their punishment and their vitriol and whatever they're going to do to this young man because he's a member of their league. But
Ace, if they cared about these players' safeties, they wouldn't go around announcing their salaries and the guaranteed money. Because I hear you, bro. If you told the world that I just signed a $200-300 million deal, I'd probably be strapped too.
Yeah, especially in Chicago.
Yeah, or Memphis.
Yeah, definitely
Memphis. Little Chicago, man.
Yeah,
I went down to Memphis one time, bro. The females was down there gang banging, asking me what I ride.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Just trying to grab a bottle of liquor.
I just came down here to do Beale Street in May. Y'all want to bang? What's going on?
And to any kids, if anybody asks you what you is, you tell them I am a revolutionary. But go ahead, fella.
Right, and the revolution will be televised. You son of a bitch! Now get away from me. Right. But it's amazing that you put the Nike still rolling with him. I haven't heard any other company really has backed off of endorsing him. I think they were all just mainly waiting on what punishment that the NBA will hand down to him, and what basically his team was thinking. So I mean, after the first time, everybody's like, yeah, well, it was a mistake. Now the second time was like, yeah, boy, it's another mistake, but hopefully he's learned from this time.
Yeah, but they're saying, he lied to his master.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And all this and that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, well, he's got to start doing gun commercials. Do they allow gun commercials? Do some damn gun commercials, huh?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Do some damn gun commercials.
Yeah.
Whatever legal is.
Second Amendment commercials.
Yeah, I mean, whatever's allowed by law. If you like brandishing weapons on television, on IG, at least get paid for it and put yourself in a position where it's not a problem anymore because you're John Morant, the proponent of the Second Amendment, or you're advertising this particular brand of 9mm or Glock or whatever the hell is your favorite weapon to flash around. You got to figure something out.
It's the trick bag, Ace. Like you said, it's legal where he is, but it's the trick bag of, a lot of children in situations where they're out there. They may not have parents to drop them to and fro and stuff to school and all this and that.
Yeah.
And all the Pookies and the Ray Rays got sticks.
Yeah.
But then they don't have sticks. And then they catch a guy like Corch with a stick, who's a tax-paying citizen.
Right.
And then throw the book at him. You know what I'm saying? And same thing with John Morant. If I'm John's team, I'm telling them, listen, man, it's real out here in the field. I get threats every day. You know what I'm saying? And this is the way we roll. And I know y'all don't understand. I'll fix it. But this is the way we roll. We got to let them know we got it. I mean, look what happened to little Boosie Badass.
Yeah.
He brandishing his stick on the, somebody filmed his stick in his cross packet at a private property in a video shoot.
Yeah.
The feds jumped in and arrested him, fell in with a stick.
Yeah. I mean, they're always watching when it comes to us. They always want to enforce the law to the greatest extent. They always want to put the superstar in jail for fighting dogs, even though it's legal in some parts of the damn country. I mean, make up your damn mind. Is it legal or is it not? Why would you take the man's career away and give him a couple of years for dog fighting? Chickens are fighting and all kind of animals are fighting. But
how much that costed Michael Vick too, man. He was at the prime of his career. That's what I'm saying. He was about to get a nice check.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's got to
fight. Had to cut his hair, and now he's got to, coon off booger. He's the new Booger McFarland.
just to pay his bills, right? He's waiting on his he's probably getting his little pension from the NFL by now, but he was looking at greatness as far as an NFL player, maybe Hall of Fame, maybe getting to that point where he can compete for a Super Bowl, and he took that all away because of what his cousins was doing.
And locked them up with killers.
Mm-hmm. But damn near 2 years for dog fighting.
Allegedly. He said it was just on his property. He ain't know what was going on.
It was his damn cousins.
Yeah, Pookie and Ray Ray.
Yeah, Pookie and Ray Ray. He gave, this one of his cribs. Do what you want to do on the crib, man. Don't tell me about it and shit.
Right.
And as soon as 12 showed up, they was like, oh yeah, well, it's Mike Vick house. He knew exactly what was
somebody
going on.
had to be snitching.
Yeah, somebody snitching.
You know what? We might have to break that down one week. The Mike Vick case. Because I never really looked into it. There was a lot of stuff coming out of the media. You're working, there's moving pieces. But I might have to unpeel those layers.
Yeah, definitely. Somebody snitched.
Doc Rivers says he wished that he could have corched the beard when the beard was younger. Says the beard couldn't finish. Has he ever?
What was Doc Rivers going to do about that?
Right. I know it's a double-edged sword coming from Doc. You know how I feel about Doc Rivers. But I think he was intimating, and he was probably defensive when all the rumors came out that the beard got him fired. But Doc was Doc has to have a fall guy every year. It was a Kardashian kid a couple years ago.
Tristan.
And now it's the beard. I mean, if the beard's not getting it done and can't finish, get the beard off the court
Yeah.
when he's tired.
Yeah. Or put him in a position, like you said, when he's tired, to lead up to him being able to finish in the fourth quarter. If he's sitting on the bench early in the fourth, or whatever you got to do with your rotation to have him at his strongest, if that's your star player next to your star player, so he can get it done at the end of the game.
You don't have to play point guard. That's the hardest position physically to play.
Yeah.
And you got him in the twilight of his career. You want to have him with the ball in his hands all the time. But if you had Derrick Rose in his prime, you'd be calling 4 and giving the ball to some bum up top.
Right. Yeah, you got him playing 1, 2, and 3 at the end of the game. And all the other team has to do is own them other players and just wait for them to come down there and double team him or hack him. So yeah.
I mean, they had Maxey, and that's what I'm saying. They should have been running more through him.
Yeah.
And letting Beard spot up a few more times. But for Doc to come out and say that, I mean, I agree with him in essence, but I'm just saying the Beard wasn't a closer when he was in his prime, and they were calling him the best offensive player in the history of the game. They don't say that no more.
No, the best offensive player at the strip club, but not of all time in the NBA. Yeah, especially once they penalized one of those step back moves he was doing and said it was a travel. So yeah,
and took away his kick. The kick. The kick foul.
His kid and play kick step. Yeah, he took that away. Yeah, so I don't think they were happy about him retiring his jersey at the strip club. He probably should have done it in the NBA arena first before. But hey, it was a great night for him. And darn it,
I guess
that jersey is going to be retired.
I guess that's good for the NBA's image. Nobody cared about that.
Nobody cared about that. At least he wasn't waving the gun when they were retiring his jersey at the strip club.
Right. Nobody cared about that image. But I'm gonna run a quick video for you guys. We're gonna break this down.
Who's your daddy?
Little town.
Let's take it back. Let me take it back. Give me a second there, Jim. There we go. All right. Fair use.
Hey, look at our little old town. It's a old town. Y'all ready to? No coach has ever told an opposing team and its fan base to take that L on the way out. He came into this world as the son of a coach, but in these playoffs, he became the Lakers' daddy.
Nuggets Nation, what's up? I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
Hey. All right, there, Jim. Let me stop share here.
Only in America.
Hey, big ups to Cap TV. Yeah. Now, let's. I want to hear. All right, Coach Malone. He's trolling the Lake Show.
Yeah,
I mean, he act like they just beat the Lakers in the finals.
right. That was a whole series ago.
He trolled the crap out of LeBron low key when he went on. I forgot the pink guy's guy, McGillicuddy, whatever, the big podcaster who's going to ESPN.
McAfee.
Yeah, McAfee. He went on McAfee's show and said something about I'm going to retire. Trolling the crap out of LeBron. But give me your commentary on this.
I think he felt some kind of way about that crap that LeBron did after they got swept out of the damn playoffs. And, he made the comments that he was going to retire to get some sympathy, as opposed to the sports writers asking, how the hell did y'all get swept by Denver? But hey, it didn't matter in the end. They went on and beat Miami for the championship, so they're the NBA champions. But I can't understand why he will be still worrying about LeBron. I guess he's putting in work for next year. If he's still in LA, we're gonna get him again next year. Maybe. Yeah, you the Lakers daddy. I mean, even the owners went in on the damn Lakers. The Lakers must have been talking a gang of shit before that series.
Yeah, they must have.
Like we're gonna do something to y'all. The Joker. We got LeBron James. We got AD. I mean, it's not like the Denver blew them out, but they outplayed them every game, and they swept them. So
They say LeBron did Mike Malone coach LeBron in Cleveland? I think he was on the staff. That I'm looking at something.
Oh yeah,
so maybe they got some. You know what I mean? Maybe they just don't like each other. They got some history.
Some beef back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe Mike Malone was going at LeBron's mom, allegedly.
He was the one driving her and dude around.
Delonte West, dropping him off at the crib.
Delonte West. Well, let's see if we can get. Let's see. It's I think it's LeBron's response.
Yeah.
Lakers after eliminating them from the.
Where is this response?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens going forward. And I don't know. I had a lot to think about, to be honest. Just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, I had a lot to think about.
Speaking of the Lakers, I just want you guys to know this is breaking news. I'm thinking about retiring.
With Bron finally addressing all the comments his former Cavaliers assistant coach Mike Malone has been making him and the Lakers, with a caption on IG saying, "I've been in Europe for the past few weeks minding my business, and I hear I'm on your mind that much, huh? I mean, I guess I see why. But wave the flag on these lames. Please make being player cool again, because the lame machine is at an all-time high. Enjoy your light, but just know I'm the sun. I stay on forever."
Wow. Who does LeBron think he is?
I think he the GOAT. That's what he said.
He's the son.
Tell you the GOAT. And he the son.
He just got swept. If I tried to sweep the sun, the straws in the broom would burn
They're
up.
gonna burn up. Not you, son. You got swept and you went right over to Europe.
High now in Europe.
No interest in the NBA finals. You're supposed to be the face of the league.
This would be hitting a little differently, though, if Mike Malone was some sort of colored coach carrying on like that.
Yeah.
Classless.
Well, yeah. Out there at the parade drunk.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly.
Loving himself and talking about LeBron, but
he talked about the league too. It's like, NBA.
The things you can do as a pink guy.
Man.
Walk around drunk all over Denver and taking shots and hugging
There's
women.
my wife and my beautiful daughters. Stay away from them. This is what he was saying, pointing them out and then said, stay away from them.
Yeah, you basketball players. Whatever
you
expletive pronoun he wanted to use, Lil Boosie and all you trill rappers, stay away from my wife and my daughter. But it's amazing that man, come on, LeBron, you didn't even have to comment on that. If he's still feeling some kind of way about sweeping your team out of the playoffs, a couple of weeks later, let him talk. You're not even in the country. What difference does it make?
Yeah, and he didn't even mention your name.
No. He just went at you intellectually. Let the press go at you intellectually, and you fell for it.
If I was him, I would have told him, "Shut up, Trevor."
Well, he's in
Now
his
you
head.
troll us.
He's in his head till next year, until they play again next year, which will probably be on Christmas or whatever the hell they put together. And the Denver probably kick their ass again.
So he's him being in Europe. I guess what they don't have internet in Europe.
Well, I mean,
I've
they
never
don't
been,
have
so I wouldn't know.
they don't have immediate access as to a whole bunch of reporters. Well, I guess everywhere you go is going to be reporters.
His algorithm is still sending him all that NBA stuff.
Yeah. I wouldn't be paying attention. I'd personally, I would just unplug, especially after the season when I got swept, and focus on what I'm gonna do for the next season.
Bro,
Well,
I
actually,
wasn't
my
even
family.
watching the parade, and then I heard about that. I'm like, oh, I had no interest until I saw.
Yeah, right.
I mean that should be it should be memes. That should be a classic. You know what I mean? That forever. That's gonna live on forever, bro.
Yeah. The Lakers probably call him like, this dude saying he's your daddy, but he's the son. He's the son.
He did say he's a son. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
you are the
yeah.
son if he's the daddy.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Big ups. I enjoyed every minute of it,
Yeah.
Coach Malone, but I can't help but feeling if he was some sort of melanated, it'd be a whole different spin on how his parents didn't raise him right. He needs to
Look
be
at him,
held
man.
accountable. And it's understandable if the players get a little drunk, but you don't see coaches generally come out.
Taking the tequila shots, the second half of the tequila shot with with the players, and out there getting drunk. Imagine we don't know what it Phil Jackson's heart.
It was dog whistles going on there. There was some dog whistles. But I like Malone, don't get me wrong. So let's Bob Huggins. Okay. Bob Huggins. We know
he's getting drunk. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, we covered him in the past. He said some racially charged statements on the radio show recently, kept his job.
You don't know
after
what's
apologizing. Yeah. And then slipped through and had a DUI arrest that was never mentioned, never covered on the national sports media. Again, I just hate to say it. I hate to say it, bro, because people be like, man, you make everything racial. But if he was melanated, bro, they'd be talking about it. Stephen A. Smith. He's making it hard for another black man to ever get a job. Is Bob Huggins making it hard for another pink man to get a job?
No, because Bob Huggins gonna take a year off and he'll be working again. He might be 70, but he'll have another job at another university.
Well, I'm glad Mr. I like to take calls. I'm glad you mentioned that. Are you taking calls if you're the Bulls or the University of Illinois? You like to take calls. His agent calls.
Well, looking at the history of the University of Illinois and the people that are down there in Champaign, we don't know what's in their hearts. Yeah, I'm taking calls on the Bob Huggins.
You talking about the trustees down there, the racists, all the way up down through the police department?
Oh yeah, all of them. Yeah, every last one of them. Yeah, I'm taking calls down there and bring that scumbag to Champaign and try and win the Big Ten. Yeah.
Let him do some recruiting with it. But you said he's about 70. He's ready to go full Al Campanis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but he's gonna find some guys in the state of Illinois that can recruit hard. Whatever scumbags or the guys with the bag, or go out there and bring in the hookers and the sponsors and the NILs and whatever needs to get done to get kids down it's the Big Ten. They got the biggest damn TV contract in the history of sports. So there's no way.
And they got to compete with UCLA. I think USC is involved now, but go ahead.
Yeah.
No way if they had the opportunity.
To get this guy in Champaign, that they're not going to do it. This guy that they have now, I forget his name. He's a decent recruiter. He can't keep his players, but he's a terrible, absolutely horrendous tournament coach.
Have they ever had a colored head coach? Basketball.
No interest.
Or football.
That's why Jimmy left. Well, they had Lovey.
Oh, they strung. Yeah, they had Lovey, but they strung Jimmy. Is Lovey okay? I'll give Lovey. He's melanated, but go ahead.
He's melanated. Yeah, they wouldn't hire Jimmy, and that's when he left and went to UIC and went to the tournament his damn self.
Same university.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. No, they haven't hired a melanated basketball coach. It's a damn shame. And they've had coaches on the sideline that have been doing the majority of the recruiting for Illinois that they could have hired. Even when Bill Self left, you wanted that. Yeah, you had to have that face, which was the other guy that they got him to the Final Four, got him to the championship game. But there was the guys that were recruiting were still on that damn team, sitting on the bench, and they could have hired one of them when they got rid of that bum. So yeah, no, they haven't, and I don't think they ever will.
You taking calls as a bull management?
No.
Come in and replace who we got?
No, not from him. No. He's a college coach. Yeah, you can't get away with that here in Chicago.
Our coach is a college coach.
Yeah, you see what that got us, right?
All right. We're going to push on. The hottest topic is UFC fighter Conor McThugger. We're going to get there, y'all. But let's jump to our NFL beat. Not training camp, but the official OTAs have started. Where it's
OTAs. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing fantastic stuff. But go ahead, bro. What are you hearing from camp?
The defense is doing well. They came around to the last few days saying the offense was a little struggling, and the offensive line is gelling now that Nate Davis has come back from his little missing of the voluntary workouts or whatever the hell he was doing. He's probably on vacation. Shit, it's a voluntary workout. You just gave him $30 million. Why the hell would he come to that? But I believe that they're putting together the blueprint of how to win a game, which would be your offensive line, your offensive skill players, and your running game, and then the defense. Well, not in that particular order, but they were in every game basically because of their running game last year. Now they got to expound on that with their running game, the tight end game, and now we got a number one wide receiver. And on top of that, you're looking at bringing in some new defensive players and putting together a team that I predicted right here on Mouthpiece included to go 14-3. But we'll see what happens. But they're playing well, and you have a not a young team, but a team that's poised to build together for the next 2-3 years, and your major players are still going to be under 30. Some will still be in their mid-20s, but you're looking at by the time you got to pay everybody, you can go ahead and dip back in the draft or look in free agency for some younger players and keep that train rolling, either through the offensive line, defense, and you got your quarterback that you want you to play for the next 10, 15 years here in Chicago, just in time. So I see it as good things from the Bears organization. Probably the worst thing for the organization during these OTAs has been they haven't been able to figure out what the hell they're going to do out in Arlington Heights yet. But as far as the team is concerned, I think they're doing fine. They're coming together as a team, which you need to do to win in the National Football League.
Yeah, they said your boy, what was the guy? Borum? I don't want to take anything away from him, but they said he came in out of shape. Now you got all these players coming in, and I don't get that.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. You and your buddy Jenkins are vying for not just spots on the tent, on the line, but for roster positions, whether you're gonna stay on the damn team, because you were drafted by the previous regime. This team has no loyalty to you. This general manager has no loyalty to you,
especially if you ain't buying into the culture.
Right, and coming into camp out of shape is not buying into the culture. So, we'll see. Maybe you just need a couple weeks to get into shape. Maybe he has some personal stuff going on, had a baby, and you never know. But if you want to make this team, you better value the competition that's coming to training camp. I mean, they bringing in guys from Africa to play offensive line. Afeni Ajunama Muna. He's about 45, 50 pounds.
All
offensive
muscle.
line out of the continent of Africa that's coming to play offensive line. So they're looking high and low to find somebody to take your damn job. There's no way you're coming to camp out of shape if you want to play football. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Well, and then there's what's his name? Scully and Motor. What's his name, man? They always ragging on the Bears, but they claim to be Bears sports pundits. Hogue and Mully and
Mully and Scully.
Yeah, Mully. He's low on the receiver we got out of Pittsburgh, basically calling him lazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of that going on there. A lot of them are comparing him to the draft pick that the Bears gave up for him. That first pick of the second round. So they're saying that he wasn't worth it, but he was worth it at the time. Whether it turned into the top pick of the the second round or what. Now we'll see when the game starts.
Justin Time said the guy's busting his butt, and he did say that the guy is. He said that he's what's the receiver's name we're talking about?
Chase Claypool.
Yeah, he said that Claypool is working harder. The way he was talking was like it's new. All the stuff he's doing, as though he wasn't putting in that type of effort last season.
Yeah, I got you.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, even when you get traded in the middle of a season and you're trying to learn a playbook on the fly, which I don't know how hard that is.
I mean, a route is a route, right? All you need to learn is the terminology.
That one route, yeah,
right.
And the time, yeah, but and catch the damn ball, but and run, but I think this guy maybe be a prima donna. What is he out of Notre Dame? So
high yellow.
Yellow, yeah.
It was out of cams and CODs every
Becky and Jenny. Anyway, so I mean he's a physical specimen as far as you think a wide receiver would be. But the Bears have had those guys in the past, and a Kevin White busting out of his suit, and they drafted him in the first round, and he's a bust. So you got to get football players out there. And the bottom line is there was a reason that Pittsburgh wanted to get rid of this guy in the middle of the season. And if you're going to get
the colored coach over there.
Yeah. So,
it was work ethic.
Yeah. Yeah. Because as long as you're willing to work in Pittsburgh, they're willing to pay you. I mean, play you.
They don't care what round you was drafting in. They don't care about none of that.
Yeah. So and they gave him away and got a former player's son in the draft that they know is going to be a stud because he had the father's work ethic. So it was a win-win for Pittsburgh. But
I mean, look, hindsight's 20/20. But I didn't see the need if you're tanking and getting rid of players. I didn't really see the need of bringing Claypool in.
I think it was just, a media move to show that, hey, we're doing something. We know that Justin doesn't have enough help. And this is what we're doing. We got opportunity, and also they said they didn't want the Packers to have them, but you know what difference does it make if you if you're tanking?
Man, if
Let
I
them
was
have
Packers,
it.
I'd be calling them about every single free agent, even the bums. You know what I mean? Yeah, we want them.
Yeah, we want. We love them.
You better get them before we get them.
Because we're willing to give up a first round. You know, we got 2 first round and 2 second round picks next year, and we're looking to improve our team every day.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be killing your team 2 times a year.
Absolutely.
All right. But yeah, bear down. I'm hearing some wonderful things. You know, from guys who are actually there. I'm hearing
also some other news. Mike Vick came and worked out and you know, consultated our young quarterback this week. So
did he bring any dogs with him?
They wouldn't allow his dogs to come through O'Hare Airport.
It's my cousin. It's my cousin Ray Ray.
So maybe next time when he drive up, he can bring the dogs with him. But you know, they're both from Georgia. Well, Mike Vick was playing in Georgia, and Justin Time was from Georgia. But yeah, he came in and talked with the kid, and you know, worked with him a little bit, and hopefully, you know, that helps him as far as the mentality of a quarterback that they pinned as a running quarterback, but you know, he had a laser for a damn arm.
Laser.
So yeah, maybe a little talking and working and consultation with Mike Vick will also help him going into, you know, this season where he's looking to bust out and be an MVP.
Vick's telling him you got to cut your hair. That's the first thing you
cut that shit off.
You're gonna end up in jail if you don't cut that off.
Like, I'm in Chicago. I drive a Prius, man. I'm not gonna go to jail here.
He drives a Prius?
No, I think he's got one of those Teslas.
Oh,
you got an electric car though.
Electric, all right. I was gonna say I'd like to. All right, let's move on. Uncle Shannon Sharp. So you know, he's leaving Fox. We know about that.
Yeah.
But he got your boy, you came on here and you said Jimmy Butler's pookie out there. He's getting the blame for everything. And I said he's a smug SOB and he deserves it. As soon as he got that big contract from the Bulls, everybody in the city said he became a different person. The money changed him. But hey, big ups to him and his family. But they asked Smug Butler about the Hall of Fame, and he said something to the point of, you know, he basically downplayed it and said, you know, he don't like he don't want to show up to the festivities, you know, he don't want to have to spend time. So they asked Shannon about it, and we all know Shannon's a NFL Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Right. You know, according to Shannon. So I'm going to go ahead and share this, and then I'm going to get your take on this here.
All right.
And big ups to Cap TV out there.
Yeah.
Fair use. Fair
use.
Don't ding us, Cap TV.
Fair use.
But to be this openly and blatantly disrespectful of what we call heaven. Yeah. It's sports heaven.
Is this heaven? Oh, not just heaven, Ruckus. White heaven.
She said, oh, baby, that's so good. I sure hope I'm around to see it.
White heaven. You see, there are many different types of people, Ruckus. So God created many separate, but, well, for the most part, equal heavens.
The Hall of Fame in any particular sport, that's the heaven. That's the ultimate validation.
White heaven is for decent, good, God-fearing Christians who just happen to, well, hate everyone and everything relating to black people.
You that disrespectful to me, I don't like the festivities. Yeah. To have the nerve to say you should fall on your knees and thank God.
Oh, this is heaven.
That 50, 60 men and women said, you know what, Jimmy Butler is worthy of basketball heaven. Everything that he's got come courtesy of the NBA.
Everything.
But to be this openly and blatantly disrespectful of what we call heaven.
All right there, fella. What's your take on Uncle Shannon's I understand. He's in the Hall of Fame. He wants to protect it. But give me your take on it, what you just heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different sport. Yeah, he needs to shut the hell up. I mean, the NFL Hall of Fame is the NFL Hall of Fame, and basketball is the Naismith Hall of Fame.
It's just basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's just basketball. It's not pro basketball. It's not college basketball. It's just basketball.
Jamie Brandon could be in it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but
shame on the NBA for not establishing its own damn Hall of Fame. First off,
yeah, I mean, I don't know what that's all about. Especially, I can understand back before you had Magic and well, shit, I can't even understand it then. When you still have Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain, these guys. Why won't you have an NBA Hall of Fame? But now I guess they done made the deal. There's no sense of putting any money into it. Let the Hall of Fame make whatever money off of whatever they gonna do.
Because if the NFL was like that, Tim Tebow would be in it.
Yeah, he'd be the mascot every year for the Hall of Fame. They'd had a Hall of Fame ceremony and run Tim Tebow out there with Johnny Manziel and a couple of those other bums that they exalted to greatness in college. But yeah, if he eventually, once his career is over, he'll soften after 5 years and be like, yeah, of course I want to go to the Hall of Fame ceremony, but for Uncle Shannon to take such offense, wherever he's going, good luck to you. God bless you.
Hey, that mark is like, my grandmother was on her deathbed. And I came home and told her, this is what he went into. Cat TV didn't put that part in the video.
Yeah.
Can you believe this?
Yeah, son of a bitch.
It literally sounded like he was talking about white heaven.
White heaven, baby. I'm taking
you worthy. And then he made a comment about the NBA has given him everything that he said the NBA, everything he's got, he needs to give credit to the NBA for. And I had somewhat an issue with that.
I mean, that dude was homeless at one point, I think.
That's what I'm saying. And the NBA didn't come around when he was homeless and say, here, you want to play for us?
Right. He had to work his way into getting a college scholarship.
Yeah.
And he got worked his way in to get drafted. And, work his way off the bench of the Bulls and, up to, starting in this league. So to come by and say he was given any damn thing is a slap in the face of
I'm waiting for the NBA to give me something. Hell, I'm sitting here.
Right. Yeah. That's a hell of a statement, Shannon. I think you've been sitting there next to Skip too long. Got you making statements like that about this young man and the work he put in to become close to the NBA Hall of Fame. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
All right. Let's jump into an extremely tough segment. Extremely tough. Top 7 Chicago area high school hoop legends. And before we start, what metric did you use when compiling your list? Did you find yourself? Let me tell you something. We're going to apologize at the end for anybody we left out. It's no disrespect, but there's so many great Chicago players. But what metric did you use out there, fella? And I'll give you mine later.
Well, you want to go with state championships.
Yeah, that was factored in.
You have to go with scoring ability and I mean, this list is so ridiculous that I can't tell you what could eliminate or elevate a player of status in Chicago. because I had to stop at 10.
Man, it was
'Cause
impossible. Even 7 was impossible.
Yeah, because
you stopped at 10 because what?
I mean, you know, the guys that are on this list, you know, you got NBA Hall of Famers, you got NBA champions, you got.
I know. Did you factor? I didn't factor. I didn't factor that in. I just went with high school legends. But you're right. I had to not factor that in because it would have seemed unfair.
Yeah.
You know, but good point. You know, college careers. For me, I used chips, as you said, state chips, numbers, of course, you know, measurables, dominance, you know, your melanated athleticism, and love of the city, love from the city. You know, those were the kind of things that I used. And so since it is 7 Ace, let's go ahead and start with the honorable mention. Who's your number 8 on your list? We have to have an honorable mention.
Oh my God. They had 3 honorable mentions. And I think one of the this guy.
I know they all could be on the list, but go ahead with your honorable mentions. I want to hear this. In chat, you know, you guys type in the comments. Who's your honorable mention? Go ahead, Phil.
Well, I'm gonna use this as an honorable mention. Honorable mention. I'm gonna use TC, Terry Cummings.
All right, out of the Carver, Chicago Carver on the south side out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the wife's alma mater out there.
All right. Yeah, he was a hell of a ball player.
And could easily, it's almost like a slap in the face that he's not on the list. And let me tell you something, he didn't make my list either, which should give people an idea. This guy's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Is he? If he's not, it's a travesty.
Let me look and see.
If Terry Cummings is not a Hall of Famer, it's a travesty. And you got guys like Tim Tebow in there. Tim Tebow's probably in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Drop dead gorgeous.
God dead gorgeous.
And while you're looking that up, I'll go ahead and give my honorable mention.
And
here's somebody I know you didn't think of because you're a city guy and you guys don't tend to respect this
we don't
Chicago
respect
area.
The sickies.
Yeah, this is Chicago area. Everett Stevens out of Evanston.
All right.
Everett Stevens, you may remember, he was beating those King teams. They was going downstate. Now, of course, the refs respected them more than they would respect, you know, those Pookies coming out of the city and when he got downstate. But he got it done, was able to matriculate 2 state chips and was averaging 30 points a game. He was everything for that team. They had a bunch of pink stinks surrounded around him. Everett Stevens was giving people the business, bro. I think he went off to Purdue. Everett Stevens, who I know is not on your list, you know, because you're
damn right he's not on my list.
You're a city guy.
I'm a city guy.
And
born and raised.
Everett Stevens, well, me too, born and raised.
But I respect that.
Yeah. You know, all right. So I'll give you did you find out if this guy's in the Hall of Fame? Terry
No,
Cummings?
he is not.
He's not. That's ridiculous.
He's one of the 50
in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
One of the 50 greatest players who aren't in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Wow. All right. My number 7 on my list. Another suburban cat.
Okay.
I know you probably don't have these cats on your list, but this is a West suburban guy who I wanted the Bulls to draft when we drafted nonsense. I think we got not Stacey King, Williams or something out of North Carolina. We passed up on this guy. I believe he went and played at Wisconsin and then went off to the Spurs and played quality basketball for years. Michael Finley, and was winning chips at Proviso. Michael Finley.
I can definitely respect that. I mean, Jordan met him when he was a youth. And, you know, they were playing together. As far as, you know, camps were concerned. and he was looking for him to come up in the future of the NBA. So yeah, I can see that.
Man, his game was butter, man. He do everything. He was a two-way player. He had the height. He could pass, shoot, and dribble. True triple threat. Michael Finley's number 7. Go ahead with your 7.
And I guess we got to put Michael Finley on the Jerry Curl Hall of Fame too. So
well, he had it in high school. I don't think he had it in pros.
Well, I mean, hey, he's on the list as one of the greatest.
We are talking high school. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put him on the Jerry Curl team. He did have a Jerry Curl team. The Jerry Curl.
Number 7. For me, I got Ronnie Fields.
Ronnie Fields, huh?
Yeah. Chicago Farragut. Played along with KG till he got into an auto accident and a controversial rent-a-car, and was never able to play ball again after that, unfortunately. 40, 45, 48-inch vertical. They said he can jump over the gym if he wanted to, but Ronnie Fields is my number 7.
Yeah, Ronnie Fields was a beast. I feel like if he would have gotten a hold of, a little bit better coaching along the way.
Yeah, how do you coach a guy in high school that can dunk on anything that's moving?
And he's 27 years old as a freshman.
Yeah.
This matters to me. I mean,
yeah.
I'm looking back at it all, man. I want to tell my mom, rest her soul, if you could have just started me in school 3 years later and I could have graduated at high school at 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, this guy. You know what I mean?
That's what my boys are saying, because Joe ended up graduating at 17.
Yeah,
and it's like Deuce gonna graduate.
Imagine if Joe had one more year.
Right, and that's what he's always saying. And it's like Deuce is gonna graduate at 17 too, because they got them late birthdays, and we just deal with kids.
Yeah, because it's funny, along these lines, your boy Velas Jones, he's the same age as Claypool. Velas is 24.
I forgot about him. Shout out to Velas Jones and his development with the jugs machine. They haven't talked about him much in this.
They said he's showing some signs, but Ace, one of my frat brothers, Jay Shavers, we won't say his whole name.
Mm-hmm.
He pledged as a freshman and grew 6 inches during the 2 months that he was pledging.
Wow.
Ace, had I grown 6 inches when I was a freshman,
right,
I would have been 6'5". Flying a line eye or no flying a line eye, somebody was going to lose their starting spot.
I know that's right. 6 inches, wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
6'5".
Yeah, if any of us.
Those layups, and I would have been yamming on PJ Bowman.
If any of us would have grew 6 inches our freshman year,
somebody was going to lose their spot.
You're damn right.
All right, but that's your number 7. Go ahead with your and great pick. Let me write this down, by the way. Your number 7 was Ronnie Fields, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And who's your number 6?
My number 6, speaking on the lines of older players, that Derrick Rose.
6?
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
No, it's not.
That's disrespectful.
No, we're talking about the greatest players.
This guy won every championship in grade school, which nobody cares about. And in grade school he played against, we used to be competing against at William H. Ray School, drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah, it was 15.
Drop dead gorgeous school. With the ivy and everything on there. It was like Cub Stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we would compete against them.
Yeah.
My point is,
he was on the roids.
and I think he won what, 2 or 3 chips? Like this guy was winning chips every year of his life.
Yeah.
But all right, you got him. He's on my list. But I think it's disrespectful to have him at 6.
All right.
But he did make my list. We'll get there later. My number 6, and he may be on your list because he's a South Sider. Chicago Kings standout. I'd say took the program to another level. Big F. Ephraim Winters. Ephraim, I bet you've got all about Ephraim Winters.
Yeah, he's not on my deal.
Yeah, because you're associating what he did in college and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Ephraim Winters was one of the most dominant centers in the history of Chicago at 6'9", I think, of Chicago. Yeah, of Chicago basketball. Chicago King High School, went to a whole nother level after his tutelage, after his time there under Coach Sonny Cox. So I got Ephraim Winters at number 6 now.
Sonny Fluky Cox.
Yeah. My number 5, and you can tell me if they got this done or not. I think he did get it done. University of Illinois standout. Another great from Chicago King, Doc. I went with Marcus Liberty out there. He was rated number 1 player in the country at some point in his career. Marcus Liberty is my number 5. Marcus Liberty.
Okay. Well, my number 5, along those lines, I didn't have Ephraim Winters on my list, but
of course you did.
I had Marcus Doc Liberty as my number 5 player.
Oh, look at that. We're in alignment.
Chicago.
Yeah, we're in alignment.
High school lore. Marcus Doc Liberty, absolutely.
Yeah, big ups to Doc. You know what I'm saying? Big ups, Doc. I sipped a couple of 40s with him down there.
And my number 3, number 4, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're number 4.
I'm skipping ahead. My number 4, I got Big Mark Aguirre.
Wow, that's my number 4 too, Ace. But go ahead, tell us something about Big Mark. I got a picture I took with Big Mark Aguirre.
Yeah. He's supposed to come on Mouthpiece Included. Hey, Big Mark, we need you on the show.
Yeah, Big Mark. I need to call him and start harassing him.
Yeah. But Big Mark, high school standout, DePaul University standout, and NBA champion. Big Mark Aguirre.
Let me tell you something.
And a nice guy.
Coach Ray told a story. Their first game was against the number 1 rated team in the country when he was at DePaul. Big Mark played in the city of Chicago, DePaul University for college. Chicago Westinghouse, right? No, yeah. Is that where Big Mark played high school?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
So Big Mark, Ace, according to Coach Ray, rest his soul, said their first game, he said he wasn't sure how Big Mark was gonna, because he was a freshman. That was back in the day where you didn't start a lot of freshmen.
Yeah.
Opening tip-off on the road at UCLA, the number 1 country in his first game ever, number 1 team in the country. Tip comes to Big Mark and he yams on the whole squad. And he said he knew he had a star. Big Mark. Hey, Big Mark, he was going to get you some buckets.
Shot-town, baby. Play anybody.
Yeah. Big Mark. Big ups, Big Mark.
My
number 3, Ace, since we both have the same number 4.
All right.
And we had the same number 5. That's Winter.
Yeah.
All right. My number 3, as much as it hurts me, biggest prick in the city.
Oh, man. We got the same number 3.
Fantastic 2-way player. Point guard. He's also from out west, from the west side, but went to school at Westchester in the west suburbs. Detroit Pistons, great. Won a chip at Indiana University.
Yeah.
Not sure if he got it done in high school, but Zeke, Isaiah Thomas.
Okay. Yeah, that was my number 3 also.
All
Check
right,
that
sweet.
out.
So we're gonna need to hear from your number 2.
My number 2, he was a transplant.
Transgender?
Transplant. There's no transgenders on this list. These are the these are the top 7 high school players in Chicago basketball history. Not in our particular order, and they also there are some honorable mentions and players that should be on the list, and this, that, and the other, and we can go on and debate for years.
And we haven't gone back probably further than what we remember. I'm sure there's some guys back in history that I can mention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Kendall Gill could have been on the list. I know you guys don't respect what was going on in the South suburbs, you know, but
well, I mean,
dominating. What?
I respect Kendall Gill from the incident at Tizo and Dude's crib.
Yeah. Big ups KG. Yeah. He's stumping the pinks with us.
Yeah. So you know, allegedly. Yeah. So
yeah. And he was balling at Rich Central.
But,
I couldn't squeeze him on my list, you know, because I didn't want to take into account the college and the pros. I just tried to, you know,
keep it at high school.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get the number 2 to the KG. He was a transplant from another city, but Kevin Garnett was a high school beast, along with Ronnie
Chicago
Fields.
Farragut.
Yeah, Chicago Farragut for that 1 or 2 years he was here in Chicago playing basketball in the city. Yes, sir.
I actually went to see him play in the city championship game, and I definitely knew he was an NBA player. They played at the Pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know, hollered at him, you know, gave me a pound. He was a cool brother.
Big ticket.
Yeah, he didn't make my list only because one season I couldn't put him on the list and keep these other people off. But you got KG. My number 2, Derrick Rose, Chicago Simeon standout. Derrick Rose. All he does is win championships.
I can't be mad at that pick. Not at all.
Yeah.
He's on my list also. So.
He's my number 2. And I think we may be in agreement on number 1. Go ahead with your number 1 out there.
Of course, my number 1 is the late great number 25 from South Side of Chicago, Simeon's finest, Benjamin Wilson, whose career was cut down at his height. Number 1 player in the country by a little Pookie and Ray Ray running around with a pistol. And it was hell to pay on the South Side for anybody from the opposite school that these guys came from that allegedly, well, shit, anybody. Because Simeon was looking for blood at that time. But Ben Wilson is my number 1 pick as a high school legend, city of Chicago. And,
well,
you know, we got...
Go ahead.
We got a list of many players, but, you know, my partner here liked the Sika and the suburban players, and, you know, there was plenty of Chicago players that, you know, didn't make my list. So shout out to Ben Wilson as my number 1.
Yeah, I mean, we could have had Kevin Duckworth on the list. You know, I actually don't have any South suburbs standouts on my list.
You got Paul McPherson and Nick Anderson.
Lonzo Verge.
Oh, yeah.
Lonzo Verge is putting up points, boy.
Putting in much work.
But and he was down there in Champaign. We used to hoop with him. But Benji is number one on my list as well. Rest in soul, condolences to his family. Benji Wilson, man, he's playing the YVI tournament at Kenwood every year. And I think I told the story one time, me and the guys, we was freshmen at DDE. And we had our, brand new satin Eisenhower basketball jackets on. We were freshmen. We went out there to Gately. You know what I mean? It was just like, I'm gonna get you, sucker. We walked into Gately. We had our Nike hats on. You know what I'm saying? Hat. Looking clean. Red Nikes. You know what I'm saying? And,
look at these guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They started clowning us. What the fuck is this? Our people clowning us. Boy, Benji. One thing about Benji, because he knew my big brother. So I had Milz, on the back. Benji was like, Milz. I don't know if he thought I was one of my brothers. As we getting clowned, Benji was sitting there with two babes. This was before his senior season, before he got murked, rest his soul. He was sitting there with two babes on each arm, sitting there in the crowd. He was like, Milz. He was like, T Milz. And I'm like, yeah, Benji Wilson, rest his soul, bro. He gave me some love, gave me love, everything. I didn't really remember because I was a shorty, back in the days, coming up. But my big brothers used to ball with him and against and stuff before he was Benji. You know what I'm saying? And so that's not the reason why he's on my list as number one, but that just shows you something about this man's character.
This guy. Yeah.
I mean, we were getting clowned. It was, I'm gonna get you, sucker. I'm walking around with my shoes on, just getting out the joint.
Look at the goldfish in them Nikes.
Everybody's like, what the F is Eisenhower? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We came in there, we was clean. It was me, Illa, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And my boy Kimbro, the guys, you know what I'm saying? I forgot who was playing. It was a football game up at Gately, but it had to be a big game if Benji was there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's my story about Benji Wilson. So what we got to do, Asen? Go ahead, give me some banter. I'm gonna get some numbers. We're gonna come up with a combined list.
Well, like I said, I had a couple of guys like Nick Anderson did his thing on the west side, then moved over to south side to Simeon Basketball University, and then you had your Paul McPherson's out there, your Lavertus Robinsons from King High School. Just a number of players, the Jamie Brandons, the guys from our era. And there were players before us and players after us that came out. Your Jabari Parker, who all he did was win at Simeon High School.
Oh yeah, he's underrated.
Yeah.
Underrated. AD was at nobody knows. I've never heard anybody from the city of Chicago talk about AD's time in Chicago. I don't even think he's from Chicago. Like
he went to Perspectives. I don't know if it was Calumet then or it changed to Perspectives or whatever the hell happened.
Oh, so he went to what used to be the Met, bro?
I'm trying to determine did he go to the Met, but
no, he didn't go to the Met. It was already but it was that building, I'm saying?
No, he didn't go because Perspectives, it was a charter school and they had a couple different campuses. So I think he went to the light skin campus, wherever that was. And then he grew from the time he was in high school, the time he went to Kentucky. I think he grew over one of those summers. He grew like 6 to 8 inches, and that made him a stud. So, but there were guys that, of course, that we didn't mention that are.
Oh, and Benji was another rated number one player in the nation.
Yeah.
Was D Rose rated number one in the nation? I think he was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
KG
definitely was. KG. Yep. Liv. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so these guys, and they played here. They all stayed close for the most part. Looking up and down this list, we don't know where Benji was going, but I assume it would have been U of I. Mark went to DePaul.
Yeah, his
KG
mom
went
was
to the
an
league.
administrator. Benji was possibly going to the league, but his mom was pushing him to go to U of I. Yeah.
Yeah. Isaiah went to Indiana. Doc went to U of I. Derrick Rose went to school that got him in. That was Memphis. Ronnie Fields. Yeah, was hurt. Paul McPherson went to DePaul. Terry Cummings went to DePaul. Nick went to Illinois. I mean, all these guys stay local. What's the problem now? Are they not getting a bag or, I mean, there's NIL now, but these players from Chicago are, they have no interest in staying local. They definitely don't want to go to DePaul. And they definitely really are interested in the U of I. But you got to look at, hey, the U of I, when they hire their first black basketball coach, it'll be the first in school history. And I can't say that for DePaul, but they just haven't gotten it done. All of their most recent coaches have all been black. I think they need to improve their, they got the facilities. They got the Wintrust Arena downtown. They just can't recruit. They can't get the guys down there to make it happen. And I don't understand. It's Chicago. You should be able to go out in some of these towns and find these guys that can ball, that can hoop, that can score, that can build you a solid team, get you a program going, and make something happen, especially with the history of DePaul basketball. But and they're in the Big East. So,
Well, all right. So I'm compiling the list. It's a little tricky, but if you had to choose number 7, Michael Finley or Ronnie Fields, who are you going with?
I go with Finley.
All right, so we're in agreement. So we got Finley at number 7. KG ended up with 6 points. He's number 6. Marcus Liberty also has 6 points, voting points. I think you would agree to put Lib above KG, Chicago high school sports legends, considering Lib was there for 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, Derrick Rose and Mark Aguirre both scored 8 points. I put D Rose at 4, Mark at 3, or you want to reverse that?
D Rose at 4.
They both got 8 combined points.
I flip them and put D Rose at 3 and Mark Aguirre at 4 for high school.
Yeah. Okay. And then number 2 was Zeke. We gave him 10 points combined. And number 1 was Benji Wilson with the 14.
All right.
So the list is number 1, Ben Wilson. Number 2, Isaiah Thomas. Number 3, Derrick Rose. Number 4, Mark Aguirre. Number 5, Marcus Liberty. Number 6, Kevin Garnett, the big ticket. And number 7 was Finley, Mike Finley. So we got South Side, West Side, South Side, West Side, West Side, West Side, West Side. A lot of West Side out there, fella.
Yeah, man. It's rough on the West Side, Mike Zeke said he looked out for Jordan on the West Side. He wouldn't be able to walk on the West Side if it wasn't for him.
I don't believe anything come out of Zeke's mouth. You don't tell me that somebody cared about what Isaiah Thomas was talking about if they were going to try to take Jordan's IROD.
Right. Gonna rob him. The money wouldn't put itself in that position anyway. So, come on.
Right. Pip probably would, but not money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then that's our very difficult. And again, to any legends that we left off the list, it wasn't to slight you. It's just that this is very tough to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't charge to the head, not to the heart.
Right. All right, we're going to move on to Booger of the Week, and then we'll get to our final topic, Booger of the Week. We mentioned him earlier, Ace. Adam Hogue. Fair use. I'm just going to play some of the sound here, just so you can know what he said about him. He went on a rant about just in time. He went to a practice and went on there and said that just in time was not balling. But we're gonna play what he said.
Chase the actual story. Why wasn't it a good day?
I think he's just a devil's advocate to keep himself relevant.
On the day, and this is what Adam Hogue had to say.
Look, guys, today was not a great day for QB1.
I don't want to hear that.
Maybe it was the visor. Maybe he had a different colored visor on today, and I just didn't pay close enough attention and didn't know.
I'll chase the actual story. Why wasn't it a good day for QB1? What happened, Adam?
That's a good question.
Really, yesterday wasn't great either. But today was, when he's throwing to DJ Moore, he looks like that quarterback that Matt Eberflus, Luke Getsy, any one of us have said is the goal for this offseason, right? Get rid of the ball faster. Make faster decisions.
Process.
Be more accurate. When he's throwing to DJ
Smart.
Moore, I see that quarterback. I mean, that's there, and I think that's been relatively consistent. The concern for me, and I wasn't even really considering it too much of a concern until really the last 2 days, is just when he's going other places, I'm still seeing more of the guy we saw last year where there just is that inconsistency. And today especially. And it was just today. It really hasn't been these other practices. We've been able to watch 5 total over the last 5 weeks or so now, 4 weeks. But I found myself standing there on the practice field today, literally saying, throw the ball, throw the ball. And I don't have a great answer for you on the timing thing, because especially when it comes to 7-on-7, there's not even the fake pass rush without pads on. There is no pass rush. There literally is not anybody coming at you. And there's just been plays where I see him with that little hitch, that little extra like hesitation before he unloads it. And then he will unload it to where he's looking. And like, there's one example today, I think it was to Tyler Scott, where he did that little extra hitch. He finally decides to throw it. It's broken up by Jalen Johnson, because you just can't give DBs at this level that little half extra second to make the break on it, or they're going to make the play. And so again, I'm mostly talking about today and a little bit from yesterday on that conversation, but it was a little bit concerning to me today.
Look, if for some reason Adam Hogue,
Exactly. Ace, go ahead. I'm gonna throw it to you. But yes, exactly. He talked about how his timing's not off with DJ Moore, who can freaking play. You know, everybody's been saying Fields needs help. He's got DJ Moore. His timing's not off. But he wants to say that he's not processing with the bums.
Right. I mean, you want to bring up a play. He's okay with DJ Moore, the number one receiver. But you're talking about a rookie that was drafted in the 4th round that he can't link up with him and practice on another day. It takes time. It takes time for a Tyler Scott to learn the NBA and NBA routes. And as fast as Tyler Scott is, that when he's running out there, it's not college. You're not running around wide open all the time. This guy out there that's playing defenses faster, just as fast as you, or running you into a scheme where a guy is as fast as you, and he's going to hit you. So to downplay Justin's passing ability in OTAs based on what's going on with a rookie is quite unbelievable. It harkens back to this Adam Hogue needing to be relevant this early in the season, as far as the training is concerned. I saw a pass that he threw to Tunyon toward the corner of the end zone over a linebacker, over another player, and they made no mention of that. Where you got this veteran tight end from Green Bay, he made a great catch, and it's a matter of the players.
Oh yeah, that boy looking good.
Yeah. I liked him in Green Bay when Smug Rogers was throwing to him. He got hurt, and now this is his second year off of the knee injury, and now you're running around with 2 tight ends. You got a number 1 receiver. You got all these fast guys who you're trying to develop in the offense, and you got the running game. So I don't understand these writers. They act like that the NFL is PlayStation, is Madden, that you can just throw these guys out there and call the plays, and automatically they're going to be open or not, or they're going to catch it or they're not. I mean, you got to develop timing. You got to develop a chemistry with the different players and the different the different offensive sets and the different personnel groups. And that's what training camp is about. So I don't know what he's expecting out of OTAs, but
First off, I don't know if you mentioned this. Just in time at that particular practice he's talking about, he went 15 for 18.
Oh, that's not enough.
No interceptions. He was 15 for 18, Ace. And you come out here and say that you're 15 for 18.
Not processing.
Claypool ain't even out there. Darnell Mooney ain't even out there because, they're coming over injuries.
Mm-hmm. He can't process.
And you single out one of his incompletions to, like you said, a rookie.
Yeah, 4th round rookie, draft pick. Yeah, he's not processed.
It was, and so.
Yes, OTAs.
Well, and big ups to Swift Network. He covers all things Bears. Because somebody in the chat on that video said, now they see why Adam Hogue got choked. And Ace, I hadn't heard about this. And I feel like if he was choked out by one of the black former Bears, I would have heard about it. It would have been all over ESPN.
Yeah. Right.
But this is an article from May of 2022, Ace.
Okay.
Longtime Chicago Bears center, Olin Kreutz.
No, that's why Olin lost his job?
Yes.
Oh.
They removed longtime Bears center from his job. On Monday morning, an incident occurred in which Olin Kreutz physically attacked an employee. Effective immediately, Olin Kreutz is no longer with CHGO. Although we were shocked by the incident, we are thankful that the employee is okay. The health and safety of our employees is the utmost important, blah, blah, blah. Kreutz responded to the tweet with his own apology. Today, new details emerged thanks to a Chicago Sun-Times Sports report by Jeff Agris, who cites sources saying that Kreutz assaulted fellow personality Adam Hogue during a staff meeting. Hogue joined CHGO from NBC Chicago platforms. Let's see. Former Bears center grabbed the neck of Adam Hogue in response to a flippant remark Monday, according to sources, costing Kreutz his analyst job at the sports media startup. The incident occurred in the West Loose office. Hogue did not require treatment, and he didn't file a police report because he wasn't colored. And that don't ever stop 12. They usually, again, if this was a former black player, I don't care what y'all think. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
This would have made bigger news.
Yeah.
Consider. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I remember the story of Olin getting canned from this particular.
But
position.
you didn't hear anything about the violent assault.
No. And who it was against. And and the fact that it was in a damn staff meeting, but that's how they do. They protect each other. We got to look at who Hogue is, what Hogue's ancestry.com profile goes back to, but that's probably why Olin lost his position. And
Yeah,
this guy continues to go on and spit this vitriol against the Bears every week for relevance when it seems he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. But that's the media nowadays. No vetting of stories, no accountability. Just say whatever the hell you want to say, and it is what it is.
Well, according to a source, before the taping, Hogue and a producer were discussing Twitter reactions to Olin's a Twitter reaction to Croots jokingly walking off the taping of Friday's Draft Night podcast in response to the Bears not drafting an O-lineman in the second round. In regard to those comments, Hogue made a sarcastic remark about Croots being too negative about the Bears' draft. At that point, Croots had just entered the loft space and heard Hogue's comment, yelling at him in response. Croots then charged at Hogue while he was seated on the video set. Hogue's chair flipped back and Croots grabbed him by the neck before eventually letting go, according to a source. Hogue tried to defuse the situation and even suggested going through with the taping of Monday's podcast. So, I mean, this is why this guy's getting choked out, though.
Yeah.
He's snarky.
Yeah. Smug Hogue.
Yeah, thinks he's fun.
Yeah. I think he's got some sort of comedic timing and whatever, it might have been a buildup of statements he's made in the past or just that day. But Olin said, today's the day I would lose my job because I'm finna choke the shit out of this son bitch. And that's what happened. Unfortunately, that's what happens, especially when you've got money in the bank and you have residual income coming from your pension. So it is what it is.
And you got somebody who ain't never laced them up. Know, because I remember in Chicago, Coach, the Packer backer, Fudge Packer backer, always loved listening to Hoge and Mully after a Bears loss. These guys, they seem more excited when the Bears lose than when they win.
Right, because they can jump on the team. You can say pretty much anything, and those meatballs calling in are going to agree with you. Oh yeah, this is the worst team ever. They'll never win another game. Yeah.
And Lovie Smith doesn't know what he's doing. They need to fire him.
Yeah, every game, every loss. Yeah, absolutely. They did 10-6, man. Oh yeah, there's no way this guy can be the head coach in it.
Yeah. But I'm not justifying the violence for any kids out there. But that I did saw that comment, and I was like, man, I hadn't even heard that Hogue got choked out like that.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make national news for some reason.
Nah, because he's inconsequential. Olin, everybody probably knew why Olin choked him, so it wasn't a big deal.
He's pink. If his last name was Jackson or Washington, it would have been inconsequential. The police would have got involved and had to investigate and everything else.
You'd have the video and everything. This is Hogue laying out on the stretcher as he's transported to Northwestern Medical Hospital from downtown Chicago after being choked by Pookie Washington and a staff meeting for a Chicago sports podcast. Absolutely. Yeah. So Adam Hogue is a booger of the week, and he's always and probably potentially always will be a booger for the Chicago Bears.
Flat out booger. All right, let's go ahead and jump to our hottest topic as we wrap up. UFC fighter Conor McThugger, that's Conor McGregor. What's in his heart? So Ace, I'm just gonna give you a quick timeline of why I'm up this guy's bum so much. It's not because he's pink, because I feel like he's a violent thug who's getting away with it. All right. The 34-year-old UFC fighter who Stephen A. Smith pointed out has more sexual assaults than victories over the last 7 years. He's 34. Okay. He's been the face of the UFC, not only for his achievements inside the ring, but because of his legal troubles outside. This is from Rolling Stone. This week, the Irish mixed martial artist was accused of attempting to rape an unnamed woman at the Kaseya Center in Miami following game 4. The same game where he punched the
mascot.
And I told you the police should have gotten involved. Now, of course, through his attorney, McGregor has denied the claim. We always say innocent until proven guilty on TATN. That's not what this is about. Okay. He called it false and vowed he would not be intimidated. A detailed account of the claimed sexual assault provided by the woman's attorney constitutes perhaps the most serious allegation made against McGregor in his career. The incident follows a series of other accusations describing violent and criminal conduct on his part. Here's a timeline. And we'll banter after each one. Right. November 2017, driving violations. McGregor's most consistent run-ins with 12 stem from his driving habits. In both 17 and 18, he pled out to speeding offenses and paid fines. In the latter case, having his driving privileges revoked for 6 months. Last year, he was arrested on 6 traffic charges, including being uninsured. Well, nobody even insured or something. He didn't even, Ace, and I know you know more about this than me. You know, you can put in a self-insured with the Department of Motor Vehicles and put down the money in trust and drive around, but including being uninsured and driving without a license, and authorities impounded his sports car. He was later charged with careless driving as well. That case has proceeded slowly through the courts without a plea as of yet and has been adjourned until December 2023. Any comments on this so far?
I mean, when you're rich, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. I mean, they're going to fine you. They're going to fine you. You're driving $1 million car or $500,000 car. You know, more than likely, you're not going to get stopped unless you're doing 100 miles an hour or, you know, something ridiculous. Or
so they're not going to take you to jail for driving around with no insurance and no license like they would do Pookie and Ray Ray?
No, and if they don't stop you, they're not. But if they, you know, if they see a McLaren or a Lambo or, you know, a Ferrari or one of these exotic cars, you got to be probably doing over 100 for them to even think about stopping you. And when they stop you, you know, they're gonna take the charge down to, you know, he was speeding, not excessive speeding. And then they got to go through he doesn't have a license because you can't produce one. You don't have insurance because you can't produce any. And these rich celebrities figure, hey, I just call my lawyer and, you know, they'll take care of it. And that's what happens.
Okay. April 2018, attack on a bus at Barclays Center. In a bizarre and frightening scene, Conor McThugger and his entourage, as Phil Jackson would say, his posse, were caught on video pelting a bus with loose objects after a UFC media event, including a hand dolly and a guardrail. They threw that at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. They shattered the vehicle's windows and windshield, injuring multiple UFC fighters aboard. Surprised they didn't get out and whoop their ass.
You know, UFC fighters, come on.
Right. Who subsequently missed their next fights as a result of the injuries. The assault was reportedly intended as retaliation against one of the bus occupants, UFC fighter Khabib Nurmagomedov, it's probably from a shithole, who had confronted McGregor's teammate and close friend Artem Lobov at a hotel that week. UFC President Dana White condemned McGregor's behavior as disgusting. By July 8, 2018, McThugger, who had turned himself into NYPD after the episode, reached a plea deal that saw his assault and felony criminal mischief charges dropped with no prison sentence or loss of his travel visa. Instead, he paid restitution for damages, served 5 days of community service, and agreed to take a short anger management course. I just want to say I'm thankful to the DA and the judge for allowing me to move forward, McGregor said at the time. Nothing about an apology. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, of course he didn't apologize. He didn't give a damn. And you're also talking about, Ultimate Fighting. This guy is great publicity for them. So him being involved in a court case and tearing up the bus and them being able to show this video was probably worth more than anything that they were willing to fine him, because the UFC didn't fine him. They didn't suspend him from fighting because I believe he got his. Was that the match he got his ass whooped? Well, he's getting his ass whooped the last few matches I've seen, and if you can get the publicity of him tearing up a bus and yelling at another fighter that's on the bus and building up fights, then you would take that over, suspending him and, fining him as a fighter. So, I think it's all publicity. It's all Don King. It's all, the Golden Boy. They're just trying to build up the next fight or build up, the event that they just had, build up the next event. That's what it's sports entertainment. But if he was Pookie, on the other hand, they're gonna send a squad car down and tase him, if not shoot him, and arrest his ass.
In 12's defense, they did investigate it, and but yeah,
investigated. They were, come on, man, it's a sports arena. They were there somewhere. If they weren't under the sports arena or somewhere around there,
but
they were somewhere.
But you're right. The video would have been released on TMZ if it was Pookie.
Yeah.
It'd show the video of this thug, throwing a dolly at the windows of the bus and cussing and doing everything else. Right?
Yeah. We
never saw any of that.
It was all publicity.
Well, if it's publicity, they didn't show the video. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I got
That's
you.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. December 2018, Dublin, Ben Raplesberger's allegations. In early 2019, reports emerged that McGregor was under investigation by Irish law enforcement for an alleged sexual assault of a woman in a Dublin hotel the previous December. In October 2019, police received another complaint against McGregor from a woman who said he had sexually assaulted her in a car outside of a Dublin pub. The UFC fighter denied both claims, but was at one point arrested and questioned before being released. In 2021, prosecutors indicated they would not be charging McGregor in connection with the alleged 2018 assault. Neither have they pursued legal action over the 2019 complaint. The woman whose accusations sparked the initial investigation sued McGregor for personal injuries after the criminal case ended without charges, again alleging that he raped her in the Dublin hotel. Those civil proceedings are ongoing while plaintiffs granted wide discovery of materials the police obtained in working the case. McGregor continues to deny the allegations. Multiple. Now, when they assess this with us, with my people, they say, well, look at all the allegations. It's got to be true.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, what's his name? Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Mystical.
With the massages. With the massages.
Handy J.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, yeah.
Multiple allegations, Ace. we're talking violent. We're not talking getting a massage or anything like that. We're talking violent sexual assault against innocent women.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is still the face of the UFC.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's violence is their creed, their agenda, whether it's the female side of UFC or male. The beauty of this league, the beauty of their success has been through violence. And if you're not into violence, you're not into UFC. So the fact that these charges were filed and nothing has been found out as of yet, and they're going to bank on the side of it being consensual, and we'll see what happens in court. Just like Rapelessberger's claim.
Yeah, it's just funny how the national media downplays all of this. But again, we can do something as simple as say, tweet, Black people are the original Hebrews. And
oh my God. How can he say that?
Now, once again, 2019, assault in the Dublin pub. Now, this is bizarre. And this is what told me this guy should be in jail.
This guy is a menace to society. And he doesn't even live here. Go ahead.
Now, this was on video, which you've never seen, and I've never seen. Once again, caught out lashing out on video, McGregor in August 2019 punched a pub customer who had repeatedly refused a shot of his proper No. 112 Irish whiskey brand.
Yeah, some shit.
A liquor brand mixed martial artist launched the year prior. I mean, maybe the guy wasn't drinking whiskey that night. You know what I'm saying? That November.
Some shit. I've had proper 12. It's some shit.
That November, he pled guilty to assault, paying a fine, and avoiding a stint of up to 6 months behind bars. The victim received an undisclosed sum in compensation as well. During court proceedings, it was revealed that McGregor had 18 prior convictions on his criminal record. I'm going to repeat that. 18 prior convictions on his criminal record, most connected to his driving offenses. The fighter told the court, "Your Honor, what I done was very wrong. I would like to apologize today to the injured party again, and to apologize here before the court, and to assure you nothing of this nature will happen again regarding me." Of course, he punched the mascot. His lawyers had argued that a conviction would put his career in jeopardy, given the need to travel for bouts. So you're at a bar chilling, and this thug, is promoting his thing, and you're telling him you don't want none of that shit.
I don't want that shithole drink.
And he
drink from your shithole country, yeah.
Right, I'm over here drinking black brands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So, he decides to punch you. And what do? Well, next, you file charges, and next you call your lawyer. Because this son bitch done lost his mind.
I'm sure he got a hefty payday, the victim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's one of the more affluent UFC fighters from the last few years. Ever since he fought, was that Mayweather he fought?
Yeah.
He fought Mayweather and in an exhibition bout. And, he's consistently come out in the last few years and got his ass kicked. But it's a matter of promotion and who's going to pay to see you. So, yeah. He's a thug. He's a thug that they keep allowing to come into the United States. There's no way they will allow a thug from the United States to keep going into his shithole country time after time, accused of rape or assault.
A thug with all these Richard Pryors.
Yeah. They're not going to give you the visa. They're not going to approve your passport. to come into their country because you're a thug. So why the United States allow this guy to come over here to harass women, to fight people, and to sexually assault women is the question for the U.S. government as well as UFC. Why do you want this thug to keep coming over here? Because he is not from here.
No, he's not. He's not. And, Ace, yeah, they're not going to let me do it. I'm going to show you because TMZ, kill your camera right quick. TMZ did show this, and I had never seen it. This is 3 years ago. He's in some empty shithole bar, too. See it. You know what? Can't really see it. Let me see if I can get it on here.
I mean, he is a UFC fighter. He's on 35 pounds, man. I want to punch me. I want to kick the shit out of him, right in that shithole bar in his own shithole country, and sue him.
Yeah, well, you can cut your cam on. I'm gonna run it. Fair use.
Fair use.
Educational purposes.
Mm-hmm.
You see the thug right there? They got the arrow on this thug.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he's buying everybody drinks, and somebody says they don't want one. I mean, maybe the guy was alcoholic.
Yeah, he's drinking a beer. I don't want that crap you're trying to pass up. And he's a senior citizen.
He's pouring everybody drinks. Everybody's taking a cheers.
Yeah, he's got his back to him. I don't think he likes that son of a bitch.
Sucker punched him. Wow.
Oh, yeah, he did. Sucker punched a senior citizen.
With his glasses on. Wow. Dude didn't even get up.
No.
I'm going to stop it here.
Call my lawyer.
Wow.
That's worth at least $500,000.
Oh, he got more than that.
Give me some of those.
Wow, Ace.
Give me some of those American dollars your dumb ass have made, so I can buy me a boat or something. Buy me a castle over here in Ireland.
Retire a couple years earlier than I.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 2020, September, released after detained in Corsica on suspicion of sexual assault. Again, McGregor was detained and questioned by authorities on the French island of Corsica in September 2020 for alleged incident, exposure, and sexual assault in a bar. He spent 2 days in custody. 8 months later, they declared a lack of sufficient evidence to justify a criminal prosecution. A spokesperson for McGregor said the investigation included DNA collection that corroborated his version of events. Conor McGregor vigorously denies any accusations of misconduct. He has been interviewed and released. He was released, all right. He released himself right there at the bar,
Yeah, we investigated. We drank a fifth of proper 12, whatever the hell his liquor is, and we found out that all these allegations are unfounded.
Francesco Feccinetti, a famed Italian DJ and TV presenter, accused McGregor of punching him in the face and breaking his nose outside a hotel in Rome in October 2021. According to Feccinetti, he and his wife had been partying with McGregor and the fighter's fiance, Dee Devlin, for hours when McGregor attacked him totally unprovoked. McGregor and Devlin had earlier that day taken their third child to be baptized at the Vatican. He is dangerous. He needs to be stopped, Feccinetti said at the time, formally pressing charges against McGregor, who as of early 2022 is still under investigation for the complaint. He has not been charged, nor has he commented publicly on the incident.
I mean, this thug is a menace to society. He was in Rome at the Vatican getting his little kid baptized. And he still punches the damn DJ in the nose. What's wrong with this guy?
Is this Booger Sugar?
Yeah, it's got to be. But he's definitely a menace to society. And for them to let this guy continue to travel across the world, being a Raplesburger, a menace as far as using his hands to assault people is ridiculous.
But you haven't heard the most. This is the last one I'm reading. This past January, reports emerged that a woman in her 40s accused McGregor of physically assaulting her on his yacht in Ibiza, Spain, during his birthday celebration the previous July. She claimed that he became verbally abusive, then punched and kicked her, even threatened to drown her. She says she suffered an injury to her wrist when she fell from one of McGregor's blows and was eventually forced to flee the yacht, believing he might have killed her otherwise. She was picked up by a Red Cross boat, so she jumped overboard. McGregor has denied these claims. McGregor is steadfast in his denial of all accusations made by a guest on his boat. While the unnamed woman hadn't signed a statement for Spanish law enforcement at the time, she filed a complaint with Irish police in September. Authorities in Spain subsequently reopened their investigation, but have not charged Conor McThugger. The woman also sued McThugger, but withdrew the claim in February with no reason given. Probably paid off.
Again, I reiterate, why is this guy allowed to leave out of the house except for he's on house arrest? I mean, he needs the ankle bracelet. I don't know if they have them in Ireland, but I would suggest if he's going to come into this country, he needs a bracelet and some kind of monitoring every time he comes in the United States, just like Pookie would have if he was coming from Uganda and had 18 offenses on his record, especially all of these sexual assaults and violent acts against other individuals. So, that's my take on it. Conor McThugger needs an ankle bracelet.
Violent, Ace, and I agree with you. All these multiple allegations, and he's just coming out there saying it didn't happen. So either everybody's out to get Conor McThugger, or maybe he needs some alcohol rehabilitation. He's got to go to AA or something of his nature. But you're better than me. I wouldn't even let him in this country. His fights would all have to be in Ireland or something.
Well, Shaggy said it wasn't me. I raped her on the boat there. It wasn't me. I raped her in the hotel now. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I hit him in the bar. It wasn't me. I hit the mascot now. It wasn't me.
I think Most Def got banned from Australia on some BS. On some BS. Nothing violent, nothing rape, nothing like that. And so, America needs to stand up, because I feel like if this guy was from Nigeria or someplace like that, and, dirty and so black he's purple, you know what I mean? I don't think they'd be letting him run around the states like this, talking about he needs to make his money.
No, just run around and be on pay-per-view television, acting a damn fool and doing whatever the hell he want to do and get invited to the NBA finals to perform at halftime and, rape a woman in the third quarter or sexually assault a woman in the third quarter.
And punch out the mascot.
Yeah, there's no way that all of these incidents would be allowed to happen if he had been.
I said he should have been arrested after the mascot incident. He never would have had the opportunity to allegedly assault the girl later.
Yeah. Well, according to this article, the mascot incident was set up, but
yeah, it was set up. They said he was supposed to be wearing a brace on his face. I guess the mascot forgot to put they said he's supposed to be wearing a face protection.
Yeah.
How about you don't hit me for real, stupid? How about you give me right? Yeah,
this is sports entertainment. Just tap me on the face like it's sports entertainment.
I'll go back like I'm hit hard. Right.
But like you said, it could have been a incidence of the booger sugar taking over, and there was no way that he can control himself, and it just went crazy after that. He hit over in the face, and they say,
tie this into your final words on Conor McThugger, because I swear I went in on this guy last week, and then when the sexual assault came out, I'm like, come on, this guy, they need to do whole shows on him. I'm down on the black internet. Black internet is always, if this guy was Pookie, every black content producer would be, unpeeling these onions and getting the views so that all this pink stink in the world can watch the ignorant, savage black man.
Yeah.
But then when this happens, nobody talks about it.
Yeah, he's just we don't know what's in his heart. He's just he's just a misunderstanding thug from over in Ireland that they keep allowing to come over here to assault women and beat up on people. And how many allegations he got of assault and stuff in his past? 18, 20? I mean, come on, man.
4 sexual assault allegations and 1 win in the last 7 years.
If they would allow any melanated athlete with this track record of sexual assault and driving violations and physical assault into the United States from another country, because you have coming into the U.S. from another country, you got to be approved to come over here. You can't just, I got an Irish passport, I'm coming over there to assault your women and drive without a license and beat up on people. You can't do that. Somebody's got to let you in, and they know when he's coming because he's a celebrity. So shame on the U.S. government, customs, whoever the hell knows this guy should be on a damn ankle monitor anytime he comes into the United States. But at this point, there's no reason to allow him in the country. They're
getting paid off though. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to show, just like if you got child support or if you've got a felony in the United States, you can't get a passport. You can't leave the United States. But you let these thugs come over here from all these other countries. These immigrants come over from other countries. You let all kind of people come over here from other countries and cause all kind of havoc and crime and thuggish nature and attacking American citizens. Just because they're not melanated, it's okay. But if anybody comes over here from Uganda or Kenya or
Mexico,
any brown or black or black or brown or brown or black or brown, there's controversy, there's investigation, there's somebody willing to stand up and say, yeah, you're not allowed in this country at this time based on your history. So U.S., just because you're making money from the UFC, you might be in bed with them. They might be selling merchandise with the logo, the NFL logo salute to service or whatever UFC and the NFL is doing. You can't let these thugs in our country to continue to wreak havoc every time they show up and just allow them to go through the court system, because they got to come back and go to court after they come back, after they wreak the havoc. They got to leave the country, come back and go to court, in which they come back and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. And then they're going to do some more crap while they're here. So what I say is, just like American citizens can't leave the United States and go into other countries when we have different altercations or different records or felonies or all of these assaults
or a bag of reefer
on our record. Yeah, the same thing. Keep that thug over there in Ireland. And if he wants to fight somebody, if he wants to lose, because he can't win anymore, if he wants to lose another match.
Well, he can win against that old man he punched.
Yeah. Old man was damn near 70 years old. I mean,
could have killed.
Yeah. So, what happened to used to be the prize fighter, the hands which had to be registered? Or,
it's a weapon, right?
Yeah. So that's my take on it. Conor McThugger, stay your ass over there in Ireland. And if you need to come over here to have a match, set it up in one of those other shithole countries over there, and UFC can do the pay-per-view from there. Whether it's England, Ireland, whatever the hell you want to fight at, where they can find a venue to have an event, they should do it over there, since you are not allowed in the United States to come over here and wreak havoc and sexually assault women. And that's my final take on Conor McThugger and his ability to travel from the United States, from Ireland to the United States, to sell liquor, ride his boats, speed excessively, and sexually assault women. Keep him over there, and hopefully they'll finally convict him of something over there, so he definitely can't come over here to the United States anymore. And that's my final take on Conor McThugger. Stay over there, stay there, don't come here. Out.
Well said, and you pretty much said it all. I'm going to keep mine short and sweet. There was a black fighter back in the 30s or 40s. I don't remember his name, Ace, but to your point about your hands being a weapon, he was actually charged with, I think, attempt murder or murder. Went to jail. He beat up some pink guy back in the day. There was a film about him, and all he did was use his hands on that man.
Jack Johnson?
I think so. I think that's him. And they escalated the charges against him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a pro fighter. Accountability. America likes to talk about accountability. You got this emotional thug, running around, who happens to be drop dead gorgeous, by the way.
Ginger?
I mean, shame on the media. You got this emotional thug running around allegedly assaulting women to the point where one allegedly has to jump off his boat at risk of drowning or getting ate up by a shark to get away from this thug. Shame on big media. Again, this isn't played up. We both said it over and over again. Close your eyes, imagine Conor McThugger was some sort of melanated fighter, and I guarantee you he wouldn't be making money anymore, and he'd probably be in jail. I mean, they locked up Michael Vick for alleged dog fighting, for God's sake.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson on one allegation, Tupac Shakur on one allegation. Nobody cared about the money they were losing, So that's, my final words that I had, because Ace, you pretty much said it all. And, I want to thank y'all for joining us on this journey, because ranking the top 7 Chicago area hoop legends of all time, it's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. But we did come up with a list. Number 7 was Michael Finley. This is our combined list. Number 6 is Kevin Garnett. Number 5 is Marcus Liberty.
Marcus.
Number 3 is D Rose, Simeon. Number 4 is Mark Aguirre. Number 3 is D Rose. Number 2 is Isaiah I Hate Michael Jordan Thomas. And then number 1 is the late, great legend, Ben Wilson, who would have revolutionized the game of NBA. So, yeah, it was an impossible list. Big ups to anyone who we left out. We had special mentions, as well. But anybody we left out, please let us know. Who would you add? Who would you admit? On Conor McThugger, what's in your heart, young man? Get yourself some help, please. I can't help to imagine what prison you would be locked up in if you were some sort of colored. And once again, to the national media pundits, shame on you, huh, fella? Shame on you.
Shame.
All right. So I think that's going to conclude it for the day. Big ups and a happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
Yeah.
So if you're out there on Father's Day, you're sliding through the south side of Chicago, might be in the South Shore area, Gresham, Inglewood, Chatham.
Doing our thing, baby.
Maybe out here on the West Coast. Dipping through Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood. Better have your head on the swivel. Better be watching your back. Check that blind spot. God, Joe Grill. Knuckle up.
TATN.
Don't forget
it, baby.
And don't forget to. Next week, we're going to cover the AAU and how it's ruined basketball.
Ooh.
Mouthpiece included. Catch us next week on, next show, immediately after. The Peculiarities of the Moon on the Self-Love Show.
Self-Love Show D.
But if you do pull out, don't forget to.
Don't forget it.
Don't forget to. Don't. Yeah? Yeah?